I told you not to tell her you are a ghost, but your love for her pushed you.
Did she just hit his own son on his wedding night? Did he retaliate? Let's find out. But wait. Did she just say ghost? What you're about to hear will shake you to your core. Stay till the end, because the truth is more terrifying than you can imagine. If you love stories that will shake your soul, hit that subscribe button for African Stories by Priceless. Trust me, you'll want to hear how this ends. My name is Amara. 6 months ago, I met the most beautiful man I had ever seen. His name was Chukwudi. Tall, dark skin that shined like fresh palm oil, eyes that seemed to look right into your soul. When he smiled, the whole world stopped moving. I was selling mangoes by the roadside when he walked past. The sun was setting, painting the sky orange and purple. He stopped, turned around, and looked at me like I was the only person in the world. "How much for the sweetest mango?" he asked. My heart jumped in my chest like a grasshopper. 50 naira, I whispered. He smiled. That smile made my knees weak like overcooked yam. He picked the ripest mango. Our fingers touched, and suddenly the air became cold, very cold, like someone opened a freezer. But I didn't care. I was too busy drowning in his eyes. "What's your name?" he asked. "Amara. Beautiful name for a beautiful girl. Can I see you again?" I nodded. My tongue felt too heavy to speak. The next day, I told my best friend Ngozi everything. Ngozi and I grew up together. We shared everything. Secrets, dreams, tears. "Ngozi, I met him! The man of my dreams!" I screamed, running into her kitchen. She was frying akara. The smell filled the air like perfume. "Tell me everything," she said, sitting me down. I told her about Chukwudi, his smile, his voice, how he made my heart dance. But Ngozi's face became serious. "Amara, be careful. Where does he live? What does he do?" "I'll find out," I said, too happy to worry. "That's what every girl says before her heart gets broken," Ngozi warned. "Promise me you'll be careful," I promised. But I didn't keep that promise. Chukwudi came to see me every evening. Every single evening. But only when the sun was setting. Never during bright daylight. "Why don't you visit during the day?" I asked after 2 weeks. His smile faded. "I work far away. Construction work. I only finish when the sun is tired." That made sense. So I stopped asking. But there were other strange things. His hands were always cold, ice cold, even on the hottest days. "Are you sick?" I asked, worried. "Just poor blood," he said quickly. "Nothing to worry about." Animals acted strange around him too. Dogs would bark and run away. Birds would fly off when he came near. Even my neighbor's cat would hiss and hide. But love makes you blind. I ignored all the signs. 2 months later, I introduced Chukwudi to my friends. Ngozi came, and my other friend, Ada, who was a nurse at the local clinic. When Chukwudi arrived, their mouths fell open. He was that handsome. We talked, laughed, had a good time. But Ada kept staring at him strangely. After Chukwudi left, Ada grabbed my arm. "Amara, that man looks very familiar." "Very, Very familiar. Maybe you saw him at the market, I said. No, not like that. I feel like I've seen him somewhere important, but I can't remember where. You're just jealous, Ngozi teased. We all laughed, but Ada didn't laugh. She kept looking worried. That same week, my mother called me for a talk. Mama was a prayer warrior. She saw things in dreams, and her dreams always came true. Amara, sit down, she said, her face like thunder clouds. My stomach twisted with fear. I've been dreaming about you. Bad dreams. You're walking with shadows, crying in darkness. Mama, it's just worry. No, she said firmly. Before you marry that man, I want to investigate. Find out who he really is, where he comes from. Mama, please. You're embarrassing me. Better embarrassed than dead, she said quietly. But before Mama could investigate, Chukwudi proposed, and everything happened too fast. 3 months after we met, under the big mango tree, Chukwudi went on one knee. Amara, will you marry me? Yes, 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 I screamed. We hugged, but his body felt like ice, like hugging a corpse. You're so cold, I said, pulling back. Just excited, he said quickly. Too quickly. 2 weeks later, we went to meet his mother. We walked through dark forests, past ancient trees. The path seemed endless. Finally, we reached his house. My heart sank. The house looked dead. Walls covered in black moss, roof with holes, windows broken. This is where you live? I whispered in shock. Inside was worse. Dark, one candle fighting against shadows. Spiderwebs everywhere. Then I saw her. His mother sat in the corner like a spider. Her eyes were yellow, not normal yellow, sick yellow. Her skin hung on her bones like wet cloth. So this is the girl, she said. Her voice sounded like grinding stones. She walked around me in a circle, studying me like meat at the market. Pretty, but pretty girls bring trouble. Mama, please, Chukwudi begged. Please what? You want me to lie? Love brings the dead and living together and creates only suffering. The dead? What did she mean? I don't understand, I said, fear creeping up my spine. You will understand soon, when it's too late to run. Mama, that's enough, Chukwudi shouted. They stared at each other. A silent conversation I couldn't hear. Fine, marry her. But when everything falls apart, don't say I didn't warn you. Strange things happened during wedding preparations. The photographer, Mr. Obi, fell mysteriously sick. His camera exploded for no reason. The seamstress pricked her finger while sewing my dress. Blood poured out, staining my white dress completely red. Blood on a wedding dress means death, she screamed. We had to buy a new dress. Pastor Michael agreed to marry us, but the night before the wedding, he heard a voice in the church. Don't marry them. The groom is not of this world. Pastor Michael thought it was a demon, but the voice came again, sadder. I'm not a demon. I'm a soul caught between worlds. She will suffer. On the wedding day, everything seemed fine at first. Dancing, singing, food, drinks, joy everywhere. But then Ada, my nurse friend, suddenly screamed. Oh my God, I remember now. Everyone stopped. The drums went silent. What's wrong? I asked. She pointed at Chukudi with a shaking finger. 2 years ago, there was a terrible accident on the express road. A bus crashed. 23 people died. I was there. I saw the bodies. She grabbed my arm, her nails digging in. Amara, I saw him. I saw Chukudi's body covered in white cloth. That accident was 2 years ago. The whole compound became silent like a graveyard. People started whispering. Moving away from Chukudi. Let me check his pulse, Ada said, reaching for his wrist. No! Chukudi jumped back. Why not? If you're alive, you have a pulse. The crowd moved closer. Pastor Michael stepped forward. Young man, show us your pulse. But Chukudi grabbed my hand and pulled me away. Chukudi, what's happening? I cried as we ran. Later. I'll explain everything later. We reached our small room. I had decorated it with flowers and candles. But it felt cold, very cold. Chukudi, talk to me. What did Ada mean? He sat on the bed, put his face in his hands. I wanted to tell you so many times, but I was afraid. Afraid you would run. Tell me what? He looked up. Tears ran down his face. Ada was right. I was in that accident. 2 years ago, my legs went weak. I sat down hard. But you're here. You're alive. Am I? Feel my chest. Do you feel a heartbeat? I try to remember. Every time we hugged, he was cold. Every time I tried to listen to his heart, he pulled away. No, I whispered. This can't be true. I died, Amara. My body's buried in the cemetery behind St. Joseph's Church. You can see my grave. Chukudi Okafor, born 1995, died 2023. The room started spinning. Then what are you? A wandering spirit, caught between life and death. I couldn't rest. I died too young. I had dreams. I wanted love, marriage, children. Death stole everything. So you decided to steal from me? Anger mixed with my fear. I didn't mean to fall in love. But then I saw you, and something in my dead heart tried to beat again. Before I could respond, the door burst open. His mother stood there, her yellow eyes glowing. Mama, get out! Chukudi shouted. No, she deserves to know everything. Tell her about the curse. What curse? I whispered. Chukudi closed his eyes. When the living marry the dead, both are cursed. The living person fades. Little by little, their life drains into the spirit, until both die, his mother finished. My son wanted love so badly, he's willing to kill you for it. That's not true. Chukudi jumped up. I'll find a way to break it. There is no way, his mother shouted. The elders warned us. Once the marriage is sealed, the curse begins. She turned to me, pain and anger in her face. I tried to stop this wedding, but my foolish son wouldn't listen. Then she said those terrible words. I told you not to tell her you are a ghost, but your love for her pushed you. And she slapped him. Slap. The sound echoed like thunder. Chukwudi's head turned. A red mark bloomed on his cheek. You're a fool, she cried. Love won't save either of you. For 3 days, I locked myself in that room, crying, screaming, praying, Chukwudi sat outside the door, never leaving. Ngozi, Ada, and my friend Obioma came to visit. Amara, you have to leave him, Ngozi begged. We're watching you die. I can't, I whispered. Why not? Ada demanded. Because I love him. They stared at me like I was crazy. You love a ghost? I love the man who made me feel special. Dead or alive, love is love. My friends tried to change my mind, but I had decided. That evening, I opened the door. I'm staying, I told Chukwudi, but we're breaking this curse. I don't care what anyone says. There has to be a way. Hope lit up his face. We'll find the most powerful Dibia. We'll do whatever it takes. For the first time since the wedding, he smiled. We went to see Dibia Okonkwo, the most powerful medicine man in the land. He lived deep in the forest. We walked for hours. He was waiting at his door, like he knew we were coming. Ancient, skin like dried leather, but eyes sharp as a young man. The living and dead walking together, always sad. Can you help us? I begged. Inside his shrine, bones hung from the ceiling. Strange marks covered the walls. He threw cowrie shells, studied them. His face grew troubled. The curse is very strong, placed by spirits who guard the boundary between life and death. What can we do? Chukwudi asked. Dibia Okonkwo was quiet for a long time. There is one way, but it requires great sacrifice. What sacrifice? The dead must return to death completely. Let go of all attachment, accept death fully, and move on. No, Chukwudi said immediately. Then your wife will die. In 6 months, maybe 1 year, she joins you in death. Then both wander forever. There must be another way. That's the only way. You must let her go. Completely. Forever. Then the curse stays. Then you'll kill her, Dibia Okonkwo said calmly. Is that love? 3 months passed. I started to fade. First, exhaustion. The kind sleep doesn't fix. Then weight loss. Food had no taste. My skin turned grey. My eyes sank into my head. Mama noticed. Amara, you look like a ghost yourself. My friends saw it too. Please leave him, Ngozi cried. We're watching you die. But I couldn't leave. At night, Chukwudi held me and cried. I'm so sorry. I should have stayed dead. Don't say that, I whispered, though speaking was hard now. I don't regret loving you. You should, but I didn't. Even as my life drained away, I didn't regret it. 5 months after our wedding, I collapsed. My body had no strength left. Chukwudi carried me to bed. I can't watch this anymore, he said, his voice breaking. Then don't watch, I whispered weakly. He stood suddenly. I saw the decision in his eyes. What are you thinking? I asked, scared. I'm going back to Dibia Okonkwo. I'm doing what he said. No, don't leave me. I'm not leaving. I'm saving you. He knelt beside the bed. These 5 months were worth everything. You gave a dead man a reason to feel alive. Please, I cried. Promise me you'll live. Really live. Fall in love again. Be happy. I could never forget you. Then promise you'll try. He kissed my forehead. His lips cold, but his tears warm. Then he was gone. disappeared like smoke. I learned what happened from Dibia Okonkwo. Chukwudi went to him that night, agreed to the sacrifice. Dibia Okonkwo performed a powerful ritual called on the ancestors, the spirits who guard the boundary. "Are you sure?" Dibia asked Chukwudi one last time. "Once you cross over completely, you can never return, never see her again. Not in dreams, not in visions, never." "I'm sure," Chukwudi said. "I love her too much to kill her." The ritual took all night. At dawn, as the first light touched the sky, Chukwudi let go. Let go of life, let go of earth, let go of me. His spirit finally crossed over completely to where the dead belong. The moment he crossed over, I felt it. The heaviness lifted from my chest. Air filled my lungs properly for the first time in months. Color returned to my skin. Strength returned to my body. The curse was broken, but so was my heart. 6 months after Chukwudi left, I went to his grave. It was in the cemetery behind St. Joseph's Church. Just like he said, the headstone read, Chukwudi Okafor, born 1995, died 2023, gone too soon. I placed fresh flowers on the grave, sat down beside it. I kept my promise, I told him. I'm living, really living. I'm healthy again, strong again. The wind blew gently. Like an answer, but I lied about one thing. I can't forget you. I'll never forget you. A bird sang nearby, sweet and sad at the same time. Thank you, I whispered. Thank you for loving me enough to let me go. That was the truest love of all. I stood up to leave, but something made me look back for just a moment. I thought I saw him, standing by his grave, smiling that smile that first made my heart dance. Then he was gone, but I wasn't sad anymore, because I understood something important. True love isn't holding on. Sometimes true love is letting go. Today, I still sell mangoes by the roadside. I wear my wedding ring. People ask about my husband. He traveled far away, I tell them. Very far. But he'll always be with me. And it's true. Every sunset reminds me of when we met. Every mango I sell reminds me of our first conversation. Every cold breeze reminds me of his touch. He may be gone, but the love remains. And that love didn't kill me. It saved me. It taught me that love is stronger than death. Not because it defeats death, but because it survives it. If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button. Share it with someone who needs to hear that love never truly dies. And subscribe to African Stories by Priceless for more stories that will shake your soul, break your heart, and remind you why being human is both beautiful and painful. What would you do if you discovered your husband was a ghost? Would you stay or run? Tell me in the comments. Remember, the greatest love stories aren't always happy. Sometimes they're just true. Thank you for watching, and may you never love so deeply it costs you everything. See you in my next story.